Hey, everyone, thank you.
We will start with 154 and go to 187 next.
Congratulations, Steve Futterman from CBS Radio.
Thank you, Steve.
I'm not a critic, but I really love the film.
Thank you.
Can you talk about, do you still have pains and emotions and issues stemming from what you experienced as a child growing up there? And also I wanted to ask you, you a fan of the film Roma? Because that seemed to be a film that was also about another director's childhood memories growing up.
I'll start with the second one. I have not seen Roma because when I first knew, Alfonso Cuarón is a master filmmaker. When I knew that it was a childhood piece, I didn't want to see it because I didn't want to be either, influenced or stopped, frankly, because he's a master, and so I did not see that. The film is really about the beginnings of understanding how to deal with the darkness of those days, which everybody had their own experience of, and as a 9-year-old and with a family that were trying to sort of shield us from it, it was to try and find as much joy and humor quickly, typical of the Irish, even in the darkest of situations. I think that the thing that stayed with me was just the sense of how much at that time I felt as though I knew who I was. I had a very strong sense of who I was. Making the film allowed me to return to that. My sister, who's here tonight, said, this film has really outed you, hasn't it, as a kind of working class Belfast boy. And yes, it has, because that's where our DNA, my brother's here as well, that's where we come from, and this was a way of not just acknowledging, but embracing everything about it, the dark and the light. Hi, Baz. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hi. Ken, congratulations.
Thanks, Baz. Thank you.
What does this mean to you? I mean, I've been following you for more years than I care to say.
Well, yeah, we've grown up together, Baz. As simple as that. And as it were, you were there in all the places. Lots of other people weren't in, fringe theatres and the Birmingham Rep Studio when there was 100 people in, and when we had our first preview of Much Ado About Nothing, and Judi Dench came round afterwards and said, watching you perform tonight was like watching a slow motion car wreck, Ken. I said, do you think I could do better? She said, yeah, I think so. And people like your good self were kind enough to point out we were having a go. It means it's very, very, very meaningful to me that as somebody who was in a small house watching a black and white television projecting images of the Academy Awards to this working class family in the north of Belfast, to come and to come and be here at the other end of that is very meaningful. It's very meaningful, and I, it's just great. My family are here, and that's a beautiful thing. So, it's really lovely.
Will there be some crack tonight, Ken?
Yes, there will be, because Jamie Dornan, the only thing we're going to have to really be careful about, apologies in advance if this happens, if Jamie Dornan sees a microphone and if a fridge door opens and a light goes on, he's singing Everlasting Love. It's as simple as that.
All right, we have 176, and then we'll cut to our virtual press room.
Hi, Roger. I'm good to see you.
I'm so thrilled for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were back last fall when the movie premiered. We were talking about how this was the ultimate immigration movie. That a family had to make a decision about leaving their home and leaving their loved ones behind because there was, terror going on around them. We didn't realize back in November that we would be in that exact situation now. Have you thought about Belfast in terms of the Ukraine and the people who've had to leave?
What I've thought about, Roger, is what I describe as the sort of miracle of what's happened in the north of Ireland over the lifetime of my generation. So from 30 years of dark and tragic trouble through 25 years of this very hard-earned, very fragile peace, which began with what we are struggling to see at the moment, which is the very, very, very difficult thing of trying to begin the process of understanding, first of all, listening to people with whom you profoundly disagree. and finding a way to listen, understand, respect, and possibly accept on the road to progress. It's incredibly easy to say, it's unbelievably hard to do, and yet that's where progress is made. In the whole of Ireland, there was a generation of people ready to do that. And the example of the last 25 years, as fragile as it remains, is still a shining light in the darkness, and it's one that I would say we want to try and see shining as quickly as possible in other situations in the world where what seems to be the impossible can be possible, and it is unbelievably difficult and unbelievably necessary. And what I see across my lifetime is an incredible effort made that has been worth it. But please, God, situations in other parts of the world do not cost that amount of time to come to the same painful understanding that we need to talk, not fight. Thank you.
All right, and from our virtual press room, we have a question from the RAP.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks.
No, we got
Sorry,
some
am I
more.
staying here?
We have a virtual press room.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The RAP is coming up.
Sorry.
Next. It'll slight delay.
Hi, Kenneth. It's Joe McGovern from the Rap. Sorry to keep you.
No worries, Joe.
Party. I wanted to ask. It's a beautiful film about a memory. But a half a lifetime ago, in 1990, you were first here as a nominee for directing and acting. Do you have any memories from that night? And have you thought about them at all this evening?
Man in a suit, in a pair of dark glasses, came up to me in the wings and tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around and he said, "Hi, I'm Jack." I said, "You don't need to introduce yourself, Mr. Nicholson." That's what I remember. I remember being in the loo and sorting myself out, as it were, and looking to the left and right. And Steve Martin was here, and Cuba Gooding Jr. was there, and realizing that it was an evening like tonight has that surreal quality to it. I've had a lovely evening sitting next to Bradley Cooper and having a lovely chat. I got a chance to see Mr. Ford Coppola, who was a producer on our Frankenstein film 25 years ago. So the camaraderie that these evenings produce in unusual ways is very special. So I remember that at that time, and I've had versions of it already happening again tonight, and that's been very lovely.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
and
it.
our last question is from UK Press Association.
Hello, Sir Kenneth. Congratulations. I'm Mike from the Press Association.
Thank you, Mike.
I was just wondering, how's it been to see young Jude Hill, winning an award, enjoying the process of the awards season, and what can you say about him and his performance of you and just how it was to work with him?
He's a very special young fella. His parents are here tonight, Daryl and Shawneen. They've done an amazing job with him and the two younger siblings. They're a very, very nice family. They encourage their kids to be open, funny, ask questions. Jude does all of that. The single beef I have with him, as you know, is that he supports Liverpool Football Club, and that meant that directing him as an actor who had to play a role supporting Tottenham Hotspur Football Club was a challenge. Although I did say to him tonight, listen, if I can do this, then surely Tottenham Hotspur can get 4th place this season and be in Europe next. He disagreed with me, but I'm backing me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.